What's up, YouTube? This is going to be a video where I talk about my Golden League 2 experience and my opinions about the tournament. If you follow this channel just to watch gameplay and try to improve that way, then just skip this video. This one isn't for you. But if you are interested in my thoughts and you want to know how I did and stuff, then you can stick around. So Golden League 2 just finished for me yesterday. I think I'm reasonably happy with my performance. So round one, I thought was really cool with the rules. There were no keeps allowed in those stone walls. Well, I don't like either of those things, so I was pretty happy to see them gone. And I think especially keeps, like I think stone walls are super toxic because it takes so much time to break through, and it's just too much of an investment to get into someone's base once they're stone walled up. So I don't like those whatsoever. I never make them. And keeps, I think, are really overpowered. Like if you think about it, it's only 800 stone to drop a keep. And if you want to try to counter it with like a trebuchet, it's like 300 wood for a trebuchet and then 750 resources for one trap. So that's already 1050. And one trap is not going to kill a keep because they can just repair it. Um, One trap just isn't enough, and then it also means that your army is becomes immobile because you have to stay there to defend the trap, so you can't run around the map anymore. Like everything slows down and gets still. So yeah, I was really happy with those rules. So we qualified through ATR points, which is basically just like a tournament rankings, like how you did in past tournaments. And I was 19th on the list, and then three of the people above me didn't sign up, which was Viper, Mista, and Hut. So I just barely got in as 16th. So I didn't have to play any of the qualifiers, and that's why I got the 16th seed in round one, which in theory should give me an easier bracket. Um, and that resulted in me facing the Rappel in round one, which I think is a really good player, but he is he was like seed 50 or something probably. Um, but yeah, he ended up beating me 2-1 in a close series. And I enjoyed this series. It was just lamp maps and it was just fun. So I didn't mind. And then in this tournament, you had a loser bracket. So that's where I went to. First, I played against the sniper. This is where I know the sniper is a person that doesn't actively play that much. And I banned French against him because that was his main comfort civ. And I got some I got a bit ridiculed on Reddit because there was a topic about every Civ banned by the top 60 players, and I was the only person that banned French. I did it twice. Also did it against Yui. Um, because I still stand by it. I think banning comforts can be more important than banning what's strong. And I think French gets a lot of bad reputation, but I don't think they're as weak as people make it out to be. So I think I did play French. I'm not 100% sure how that game went anymore, but I think we played Arabia, and then I just beat him with French. And then the same thing happened against Yui. I also banned French, and I picked French, and then I beat him with French. So I think that the win against Yui was a big surprise for me because I hadn't played the game in probably over a month at this point. Uh, so I had no expectations going in whatsoever. And Yui is, in my opinion, one of the stronger players. So I think that was an upset, and I was happy with that. And then I ran into Reunion. I never faced him before. I didn't know who he was. Still don't really know. And yeah, he picked some maps that I never played and never saw. So for example, I picked Mongols to go trade boom with Silver Tree on Dry River, I think it's called. And then I found out that there was no trade post on the map, which caused me to lose the game. Yeah, like these sort of things. But yeah, he played well. He beat me, and I got 3 points for beating. Basically, you get 1 point if you finish here, two if you finish here, three if you finish here, and then five if you win again. So I ended up getting 3 points in round one, which was a decent result. I think you can see the points here, and then with the 3 points, I'm basically middle of the pack, slightly above it. So, and if you look at these sort of names, I feel like these are the sort of players that I'm similar level to, uh, and I finished ahead of these guys. So, I don't know. I was happy with this. And then round two was the 12 villager start. This weekend I had to skip out because I had something else to do with my life. It is quite the obligation to stay home on a weekend, so I decided to just do something else instead. And then you get 0 points, which was it's not great, but it is what it is. So if you participate and you don't win anything, you get 1 point. But if you skip out, you get zero. So this put me behind the pack a bit. And then we just played. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I didn't watch any of the games. I didn't really catch this at all. But it was 12 villager start, which I think was a cool concept. Um, and then round three is where you do not get to ban a civ, and then every map already has four banned civs, which are voted by the top players as the top four civs. Um, so yeah, I didn't go in. I went in with no preparation again, but at least I was playing the game at this point because I've been making these YouTube videos, which is basically all the gameplay that I've done is these. I think it's 28 so far games that I've uploaded. So I made a screenshot of the available civs, which are these. So these were the civs banned by the pro players on every map. Um, and then this was the map pool. So I never play Baltic because this is basically Mediterranean, which is a map that I have banned in the ranked ladder. So I don't know how to play this map. I never played it. I've played Basin in past tournaments, but I wasn't familiar with it at this moment. And at the time, I would play like something like Delhi. I think is strong there, but they were obviously banned. I've never played Canal. I hardly ever played Cauldron, and if I did, it was back when it was like an English mirror some months ago. So I don't really know this map. Arabia is basically the one map that I know. I don't know Dry River. I don't know Golden Heights. I only know Old Holy Island before the water rework, so I wasn't familiar with this. How it's supposed to be played. I never played Monte Clearing. I never played Rocky Canyon, and I don't play the Pit because it's also one of my banned rank maps, which essentially means I only know Dry Arabia, which is a problem because it's gonna make you really struggle if you don't prepare. And I think, in my opinion, this was one of the only downsides of this tournament. I think the map pool was too much water and too much away from the ranked ladder. I would like to see something like Lipany, like the Road to Wallal Lipany. It was a really good map. I really enjoyed Fish and Morses in the past tournaments. I really like these sort of maps, and I feel like your skills from the ranked ladder translate way better to the tournament. But with a lot of these sort of maps, it's all about preparation. And what I think is a weakness of that is that I feel like if you prepare, that should pay off for sure. But I don't think it should pay off as much as it did. And I think um, someone that's just good from the rank ladder, and I don't mean me by the way, I just mean anyone, should just be able to come into the tournament and just show up and play well. Like I think they should have a better chance instead of playing stuff they've never seen before. And I also think if you're looking at this from a spectator point of view, let's say you're not in the tournament and you just play rank ladder and you want to learn how the pros play, and then you see all these maps that you're not familiar with that have different strategies. I feel like you can't really learn from that, and it's like I want to be in a world where if you're just a random pleb and you play ranked and you think like, oh, I can be a pro myself, or like, oh, I could do what these guys do. I'm going to try it out. And I think that was kind of missing from this tournament with the map pool. Um, so yeah, I got a rematch against the Raphael here, and this time I beat him 2-1, which was a really cool series. I think. So me and him were basically just like, okay, we don't want to play all the bullshit map. We just want to play the land maps, which is nice because that's what I want to do. So we got the maps that I wanted, and yeah, we just played a fun series. And I think the coolest match is currently on Drongo's channel, which was a French mirror on Arabia. We also played a Basin game where I played Rus against Ottomans, and I think that was probably my cleanest game in this day. So if you're looking for a replay, you can look up my account and you can watch that replay. I think that was a cool game. I basically spammed hunting cabins because it was pretty thick forest, and then I went 3TC as well, so I had like a very strong eco, and I played from there, and I ended up winning. But yeah, overall, it was really close, and especially the French mirror was a super close game, and that was the deciding game, so that was pretty cool to end on. Then I played against Annotant, which is in the a guy in the 3D clan, and the 3D clan is kind of they are known to prepare really well, practice really well, and like I said about the maps, that gives them a really big advantage. So I'm gonna show you, for example, how the draft went. So how the draft went in this tournament is you pick a map first, and then you ban maps, and then whatever map is left is the map that you start the series on. So I picked Dry Arabia because I just need something that I'm familiar with, something that I know, which is Dry Arabia. And he picked Canal, which is a map I never played. So then we start banning maps, and whatever is left is the map that we're going to play, which ended up being Calderon, which I don't play. But it's like I don't play the pit, so I need to get rid of that. I don't play Baltic, I need to get rid of that. I don't play Holy Islands, I don't play Golden Heights, I don't play I don't play any of these maps. So there's only so much I can ban, and then at the end of the day, we're going to play two maps that I don't know, which is just going to be a major advantage to him. Um, so yeah, we started on Cold Run, we played a Ruse Mirror, and that game lasted only 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Because apparently what you're supposed to do in a Ruse Mirror is place a Kremlin on the shorefish, which he did, and then I was dead, so I resigned. Because I was like, oh, I saw him go for the Kremlin, like, oh shit, this is what you're supposed to do. And I knew I couldn't give this up because I didn't find that many sheep, and if I give him the shorefish for free, then I just lose. So I pulled some vills to try and make a tower, but I wasn't in time. So the Kremlin just killed the vills, and then I resigned. So it was only a 4 minute game. Made a lot of sense. Uh, Like after I resigned, I was like, okay, apparently you gotta go Kremlin. Fair enough. But it's just preparation, and was like an impossible game for me. So then I got to Arabia, which I won. Um, and then we played Canal, and I was again completely clueless, and I just lost because he like you need to know like a build, like how to go for the dock first, and then you go to spears, and you get like all these little things that you got to do, and oh, this is the timing to make a boat. Like I don't know any of these things, so I just lost, and I wasn't close. So I won my home map, but then he just won the other two maps, and this was really. I didn't enjoy this series too much because it's like, well, I just kind of know I'm just gonna lose because I just can't play these maps. So yeah, I feel like preparation should give you one win. Like for example, he picks Canal and then he prepared that map well, and then he wins there. But I think the other map should be like Lipany or something more standard. I don't think he should be allowed to have two maps that are too uh, not normal. So yeah, we lost to Anatant, and then you go to the loser brackets. We faced Striker, and we played Roos against Malians, which is a matchup I've never played, I think. I also haven't faced Malians in months, so I wasn't sure what to think about it at all. But I just kind of played standard, and I just went, I just went 3TC again, I think. I played a bit greedy, and I just massed units, and I won, so not sure. But I, I was never, I was always in control of this game. It just felt smooth, but I wasn't sure what to think of it. And then we faced Blade, which was really fun because Blade, I was happy to face him because I know Blade also similar to me, where he just wants to play the standard normal maps, like the standard land maps. So we just played everything that we could that was as normal as possible, so like Arabia, Basin, and Dry River. And yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I beat him on Arabia again with French against Abbasid. I think French on Arabia is still good, and I think even against Abbasid, that's like a alright matchup for them. So I wasn't that worried about it, and I won that one, which was my home map. And then I lost on his home map and the map that we landed on, which was I lost Bruce against Otto and Basin, which was a matchup that I already had won today on versus the Rappel. So I was happy to get it, but he played it really clean, and he went fast castle, and then he got a siege bulk going, and I couldn't beat it. So I lost there, and then the Dry River was a Bruce Mirror, which took like 40 minutes, and I lost. But I was happy because I really care about who I lose to, and seeing someone like Blade advance, who is a person that I really like, I was pretty happy with. So I wasn't upset about this loss. And then he even beat Divine, so yeah, I was really proud of him and happy for his performance. So that leaves us winning, getting 3 points twice and then zero once because we skipped a round, and that's going to put us here. So in the top 38 group, we do have Blade is still going to pass us because he still had yet to get all these points from round 3. And then the other ones are people that didn't show up for this week. So um, yeah, we finished in this group, the 38 group or 39 group. Let's say we also got 3 points here, like the round that we skipped, then we would have been here in like the Matisse, Kat, Evely, and Salami group. So like 26th. And I feel like somewhere in this ballpark between 20th and 40th, or let's say 25th and 40th. I think that's a fair assumption of my skill level. So yeah. And what I think is amazing about this tournament, which is extremely rare, was the payouts. This is not something that really gets done in any sort of esport. But what Pesty does so amazing is that he pays out everybody, and there are small jumps for you to play for. So let's say many tournaments are just like top 8 gets paid, right? And that's it. Well, all our games are essentially useless because we're never going to randomly finish top 8. Like I'm going to finish somewhere in this 25th to 50th ballpark, and I'm not just randomly going to finish top 8. So any game that I play is going to be useless if there's not something to play for. But these small money jumps gives us something to play for. So yeah, if you didn't do well, you got 100, and we're gonna finish here in this 150 group. And then I'm gonna assume, like, let's say I also got 3 points in week 2, I would have finished here. So skipping out the weekend cost me $150, but that's all right. But like these small jumps, I think, yeah, nothing but love for that. I'm really happy to have something to play for. So yeah, this was really rambling about Golden League 2. No clue if any of you sticked around to the end, but just wanted to share my thoughts. And yeah, I look forward to the next tournament. I think they're always fun to play. Adding the 150 on top of this, we almost made 4K with the gaming stuff, and I think that's really cool to make some money from your hobby. So pretty content with that. Oh, and by the way, we also, as soon as we lost against Blade in the tournament, we also had to play the quarterfinals on the Age of Empires 3 team tournament. We ended up losing 1-3. We had to substitute one of our players, which I think is probably the reason that we lost. But it was a really long day of Age of Empires because it took like 5 hours of this, and then I had to play 4 hours of Age of Empires 3 like straight after. And it's always a bit difficult because I play the games on different hotkey groups, hotkey settings, so it takes a second to adjust to your new hotkey life. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna be playing more on my below room temp IQ account. Gonna be uploading these games, and I'll upload more gameplay videos in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.